Okay, so this is my first video that I've ever made in regards to making soap. And this is mainly for my friends because they ask me, well, how do you do it? So I am going to show you. Today I am going to be making a gingerbread fragranced soap because I am making soap for the upcoming holidays, and because it takes 4 to 6 weeks for soap to be completely ready in order to be able to use it, I have got to make it now because it's the end of September in order for it to be ready in time. So I am going to show you how I do it. I have already mixed together my oils in here, and I have already mixed together the lye water in here, and now I just have to mix everything together, put it in with the color, and then I will show you how I put it into the mold. So anyways, here we go. I am now pouring the lye water into the oils, and this is where the saponification process starts. This is the science part of it, which I just think is completely amazing, to take two separate things and turn it into something completely new and usable. How this happened on its own completely amazes me. Especially when you think about the fact that lye originally came from the ash from people burning wood. Okay, so we now have a very loose mix of the two together. I use a spatula to initially mix the two, and then I am going to use a stick blender to pump it up because I don't have a lot of arm strength, and most people nowadays use electrical tools to get the job done because we all know it's easier. So this is going to be loud for just a couple seconds, so bear with me. As you can see, it's already starting to turn a different color because it is saponifying. Woohoo, science! It's also starting to thicken too. Look at the soap. What it's doing is actually called turning into trace. That is the term that you see. A lot of people, myself included, like it when it is a thin trace, which is like a melted milkshake consistency. That's how they describe it. It's a lot easier to do the design techniques with the different colors and swirls and stuff when it's thinner. When it starts to get thicker, you start to really run out of time for what you can do with it. So I'm going to say this is really good. It's still really drippy and definitely workable. Especially because I am going to be putting the fragrance oil in soon, and that speeds up the process. So before I do that, I'm going to add it to my titanium dioxide, which is the white, and I am going to add it to light green colorant because this particular fragrance oil has vanilla in it, and vanilla naturally discolors the soap to a darker brown. And the more vanilla you have in your fragrance oil, the darker it will be. So sometimes you will see soaps that are very tan, like light tan, or beige in colors, those just have a little bit of vanilla in them. And then others, like I have a soap right now that is chocolate brownie flavored, or not flavored, scented, but it smells good enough to eat. That is super, super dark brown, and that's because it has a lot higher amount of vanilla in it than one of the other ones that say just has a little bit. So this one has a fair amount of vanilla, and so the overall color is going to be a darker brown. And I don't want to put the fragrance in these two colors because it will end up changing what they look like. So that is my white and my light green. Now these two colors are a darker green and a red. And I don't mind adding some fragrance oils to them because even though it will change what they look like, it won't change it enough to completely make it look funky. It'll just kind of darken the green and darken the red a little bit. But you'll still be able to tell what the colors are. And this is where color blending and color mixing comes in handy, knowing what happens when you mix colors. And it's a very interesting process because when you first see the soap about a day or two later after making it, it really hasn't started to change that color yet from the vanilla. It's the longer it's been exposed to the oxygen is when you really start to see it turn brown. I'm going to add a little bit more of the dark green to this one. The last time I used this green, I was not happy with how much I added to it because it was the first time using it, and I usually use micas because I like the shimmer that they give. And this is a oxide. Both are natural products, minerals and stuff, but I used too much of this the last time I used it, and when lathering it tended to give off a little bit of a green tint. Not that it could harm you in any way, I just didn't want people to think that they were green. They were dirty. Kind of defeats the purpose. Alright, so as you can see, I hope that is dark green. This is a lovely red. This is a light green with no fragrance in it. And this is a white. This will get whiter over time. It's just titanium dioxide. It takes a while. And here is the rest of the fragrance. I'm going to give it a quick couple of boosts to mix it in here. And this will end up, sorry about the lighting, this will end up turning brown in the next couple days. Alright, so mixing part is done. Next is the pouring part. Quickly rinse this off because I'm going to be doing another soap batch. I'm going to do my rainbow soap next, which that's the really fun one. That one has like 10 colors in it. It's crazy. Okay, so here is my mold that I'm going to be using. I love this mold. It's a little bit taller mold. It has silicone, so Oh, yeah, it's starting to already turn color. Wow. That one responded fast. Probably because I'm actually soaping at a higher temperature than I usually do. I usually like to soap right around 110 degrees, but because I'm doing 2 separate soaps today, I mixed the lye mixture at the same time, and so this was actually at 120, and that does kind of speed up the process a little bit, which is kind of why I'm talking fast and going fast, because once the soap starts to go and it starts to thicken, you can't reverse the process. Alright, so that's liquid. Let me double check to make sure it's in the view. Ah, it's not. I gotta push it farther back. Glad I checked. Let's see if you guys can see that. Yeah, you can see that pretty much. Okay, so here's the mold. Now to add color. I'm going to start with the light green. Give it a little bit of a stir. And just pour it in back and forth. Save a little bit for the top. Okay. Dark green. Plop it in there, back and forth. This is a very messy procedure, so thankfully I have a lot of old towels that I held on to. Ooh, the red's starting to thicken. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's starting to thicken. That's what the fragrance oil will do. Okay, so in goes the red. Plop. And last but not least, the white. White's still nice and fluid because I didn't add any of the fragrance oil. Start on this side. Okay, so I left enough to do a design on top. Let me jiggle this around, get jiggy with it. I'm gonna bump and grind this a little bit because we don't want air bubbles. It's hard to get them completely out, but we'll do our best. And then I am going to use a hanger tool to make the pattern inside. This is a hanger tool. Hope you can see it. I'm going to go in and start swirling it inside. Come up. The best part when making soap is when you get to cut into it and see what the design looks like. Because until then, which is usually a day or two later, even I don't know what it looks like. I can just get an idea. Okay, so there's that. Now I just need to do the design on the top. Okay, start with the green and put a line down the middle. You gotta be careful when making soap not to get soap on you. Most people soap wearing long sleeve shirts, long pants, socks and shoes. And I am actually living on the wild side right now and not doing that because I am dealing with the lovely hormones right now. And the first couple times that I soaped, I did that and I almost passed out from heat exhaustion, even with the AC going in my house. So, yeah, I wear the gloves and I wear the face mask and eye goggles when I'm mixing the lye, but when it comes to the long sleeves and the pants, I just can't do it. I'm just extra careful, and if I spill some of this mix on me, I wash it off really quickly with soap and water. It's not too bad, but it definitely doesn't feel fun either. It's kind of a burning, stinging feel. You don't want to do this with the kids or the animals in the kitchen. My kids know that they are not allowed to come in the kitchen when I'm making soap. And luckily my dog obeys commands and she knows she's not allowed to come in here either. So I'm very fortunate for that. Right, next color, we will do the light green on the edge. Give it some pop over here. I know you're probably looking at this like, ew, that's ugly. That doesn't even look right. Just wait. It's amazing how something like a couple lines can turn into something beautiful. Man, I am so ready for fall weather. I'm so tired of this triple-digit weather out here. Absolutely ridiculous. Don't get me wrong, I love living in Southern California the majority of the year, but I'm done with this heat. Especially right now with my hormones. Guys have it so easy, it's ridiculous. Alright, so I have stripes. Yippee. Okay, here's some stripes. Ooh, pretty. And I am going to find me a chopstick. Chopstick. Or no, this is a skewer, excuse me. Skewer. I'm going to skewer this baby. So I'm going to put it in and go back and forth, back and forth. Start working on a pretty little design. And it's amazing how something as simple as this can turn it into something gorgeous. Okay, now I'm going to go down the other way, just to give it a little bit more oomph. Go around there, go around there. There we go. Lovely. Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. Pound, pound, pound. And gonna finish it off with some rubbing alcohol to seal it all in. I was thinking about putting glitter on this one, but I'm not going to. I love me some glitter, but because this is a gingerbread fragrance, you know, the boys are gonna like this one too, and A lot of boys just don't do glitter, so I'm gonna keep this one glitter free. Alright, so there is the bar. I hope you enjoyed that little tutorial, and feel free to leave me comments. Hopefully they're nice, and I will see you later. Thanks. Bye.